into the light is a tale with no conclusion. No horizon, keep your eyes on the sky, burning bright with nuclear fusion. Reach out your heart, open up your hand. Find a ship and keep a grip on your friends, 'cause it's time to take a stand. Break reality, save the galaxy, live until you die. Start a riot, end the quiet, thrusters on, let's fly up to the stars above and to the dirt below. And though the scars of love, they hurt me so, but we will fight for us, and we will make the future ours. So don't look down and trust me, we'll all be stars. We're all gonna be stars. Yeah, everybody is a star. Well, that's a lot of stars.
Alrighty. How's everyone?
Ready for space.
Space?
But really just this one planet that we crash landed on. But it's not Earth, so it's in space.
Speaking of, so we just got the first bit of trivia. The planet you are on is Rada.
Woo!
Yeah.
Why are you there?
Big crash.
We crash landed.
Under some interesting circumstances, wasn't it, right?
That's
I
true.
helped it crash, right?
Pilot was poisoned and also stabbed.
Poisoned and stabbed. And because the ship was unpiloted for a time in the spike drill, it drifted into a metadimensional storm that threw you off track. Rami was able to get you to safely crash land. The crash landing was inevitable, but you did so without seriously damaging the ship or killing anyone.
Correct.
So-
I'm the best.
You know, that was really the best outcome.
Like falling with style.
Exactly. For bonus points, does anyone remember what your original destination was?
Oh, it was somewhere between Livonia and Janice.
Yeah.
I remember the two twin planets.
Yes. And then all this happened. So you are on Rada. Your ship did take damage from the storm itself, and all of the power components are basically fried. And you were sent off to find replacements. And boy, did you. Right now, 3 of you are on a vehicle commandeered from the Emerald Legion. Rami is doing his best to pilot it down the side of a mountain. It is a bit of a rough ride, but Rami's a good pilot. On this vehicle includes Jay and John Louis, who is telekinetically hoisting the supplies that you need, that you gathered from the summit of the mountain, behind the vehicle. You need to bring these back to your crew in order for your ship to be repaired and in order for you to leave the planet. Without this, your ship has no power and no means of flight. Sid, meanwhile, is making his way downtown, down the mountain, bounding in leaps and teleports after he single-handedly took down a strike fighter that was coming after you guys.
Punch it real good, like.
Then, you know...
On the plane face.
Yeah, right in the plane face. At the summit of the mountain was where the Emerald Legion generates all of the power for this military facility. So this giant egg-shaped device handled solar and wind power at the top of this mountain.
You know, they might be jerks and imperialists and fascists and stuff, but at least they use renewable energy.
That's how they get you.
You already disrupted this power by taking the components that you needed for your ship. And with Sid having crashed this plane into this device, they're shit out of luck. They're not repairing this anytime soon. All power is completely off.
Heck yeah!
Did a good job, alright.
Meanwhile, Jay found something interesting while hacking into Legion networks.
Really good cable management.
Yes, they did have very good cable management.
Yep.
Jay also found something that referred to your ship by its unique ID
Yep.
and looked like some sort of transaction report.
Ooh.
But it is entirely in the Legion language and you have no means to translate it. Not even John Louis' telepathy would work for that.
But I did forward it to Brady.
You did forward it to Brady. There has been all sorts of speculation about who could have killed your pilot, and last you knew they were hard at work getting a temporary generator to power up so they could get security camera logs, which were scrambled, of course. Now they need to unscramble them to figure out who killed the pilot. But now it seems there might have been something else going on. Now, Rami tends to have the radio, and this radio connects you to the Rodan Resistance that you are somewhat working with. There were two teams, one headed by a woman named Ayana, who's doing a very in-your-face kind of distraction with careful explosives to trigger landslides to attract the Legion's attention and keep their attention, allowing you to do your infiltration to take out the power, allowing Zikomo, the other resistance fighter you're in contact with, to lead his team on a mission you don't know anything about. He let slip it was some sort of rescue mission, and that's all he said. The last thing you heard from him, just before we ended last session, in gasping breaths, he warned Ayana over the same radio channel that you're connected to do a full retreat, because it was a trap. And as you're listening, Ayana tries to get him to say anything more, but it's just dead air. And after long seconds of silence, Ayana speaks up again. She asks,
So, pirates, you got what you wanted? You're just going to take it and go? Or are you going to stay and help us win the fight?
Rami is driving, and so he will say, "Can somebody else grab that? It's in my pocket. I can't talk and drive at the same time. It's unsafe."
What?
On the phone, it's unsafe because I need all my concentration.
Alright, whatever. This isn't just recording all the time, right? Like, I have to hit a button?
Yes, you have to hit a button.
Hey, sweet. I say we fuck off with the stuff.
Well, we do need him. He's like holding them out telekinetically on a...
you hold off like a pallet, something you can use as a tray to hold these big bits of electronic and computer equipment on top of this, and you just have that trailing behind the car.
Yeah. Pirating feels awful. That's all I will say.
I don't know, you wanna get killed in a fight against the Emerald Legion?
No, I don't.
Cool,
Well,
then we're all agreed.
Cool. Awesome. That means we don't really have to reply, right?
No, reply. Come on.
Reply saying we're just gonna leave now?
Reply with...
Here, you reply.
Give them hope. He
Give them
grabs...
hope of what? That we're gonna come and save them? Isn't that worse?
Hope has helped people through the ages, winning wars and conflicts, okay? Nothing kills hope, Rami. And he's just going to like text back a grandiose like...
It's a radio.
It's a radio.
Talk.
Oh, I have to speak.
Yes.
Yeah, it is just a field radio, and as you are taking all of this time debating and she's not getting a response, before you get a chance to talk back, she does chime in again with,
Zikomo took a risk to trust you.
John Louis' hands are shaking as he's holding this phone. He knows that Rami and Jay are right, but he's really torn. And he can't do anything. He's one person. So he's like, I need the crew, otherwise I have nothing to offer.
and now seems like a fun time for Sid to come back. So he can weigh in on this decision as well.
Do we almost crash into him as he's just like run teleporting down the mountain?
I mean, that sounds fine.
So hang on.
He just appears
right in
5 feet in front of the
Hold
car.
on, let me roll a pilot check.
Yes, please do.
That is a 10.
That's pretty good.
This was a small vehicle, right? Or am I mixing that
no,
up?
it is a
Sid
small...
is a large man.
Sid is a large man.
Okay.
It is going to be very difficult to fit all of you on this vehicle. You did manage it going up the mountain, but John Louis had to use his telekinesis to hang off the side of it.
Is there any other vehicle around?
No.
I got
Dirt
it.
bike.
John Louis hops out of the car. Say it, thank the gods. Hugs you.
As the car keeps going.
How much do you weigh?
Oh, my voice is gonna change now. Last time I weighed myself.
Oh, that's a migration.
There's a migrating accent.
Don't
Last
worry.
time I weighed myself, I felt like 40 stone, but I don't know what the math is there.
Let's just risk it. Hop on the pile of stuff. Can you surf? How much is 200 kilograms in pounds?
I only know kilometers to miles.
100 kilograms.
All right, how much do I weigh in
to
kilometers?
pound, 440.925.
That's not that many pounds. Holy shit.
Yeah, I feel like you're barely keeping all the gear together, probably.
Okay, then that's not an option. It would have been so cool
I
though.
weigh about like 300 pounds.
Oh, that's too much.
It's
That's
all sheer muscle.
Can I turn the car back around and come back up to these two?
With some difficulty, it's rather uneven ground.
You take my seat. I can just sit on the side of the car.
What does the car look like?
Like kind of a dirt buggy kind of thing. It has no top whatsoever. It's just like 3 seats at best. Like you have the pilot and then you have a bench in the back.
Oh yeah, so you can just hop in. Then.
So
I'll sit
you
on
have
the
Rami
side.
piloting, Jay chilling in the back.
That's what Jay is best at.
Yeah.
Jay smoking weed.
Probably.
John
I think it was hard to
Louis-
get it lit when we were moving so fast.
So now's the time.
Yeah, now is the time to light the J.
Alright, let's get in the vehicle and hurry up here. We're gonna fuck up with the
Yeah.
stuff or what?
Yeah, we're gonna fuck up with the stuff that's
Oh,
wrong.
man.
Oh, we did just get a whole sob story about how
Yes. How can you
they
just
went
say
into a
that?
trap.
See, come on, we're not just gonna leave them behind or not give them any help. We can at least give them a ship.
Oh, I don't have any ships. You got a ship to give?
Captain Hawk wanted a new one. We can give them the old one. It is something.
All my stuff's on that ship.
And who are you gonna convince to give him the ship?
Now, to be clear, they are only asking for help dealing with this trap. You are free to make whatever decision you want. Fuck off with the stuff is a perfectly valid way to continue with this session. But you do need to make a decision very quickly.
Yes.
Are you going to help them get out of this trap and complete this rescue mission? Or are you just gonna leave now that you have what you need? And that is the decision that you have to make.
So yeah, in sort of a above character discussion, I think it could be fun to go help, but with a character who's been a lifelong pirate, like,
Yeah, I know.
I think that it's pretty hard to justify the why would I go help other people who I am now done with?
Yep.
Like they've served their purpose.
Yep.
I'm in a similar position of like a character who has a like take care of yourself mindset, but you have the power to prevent us from taking this stuff with us if you choose to go.
Yeah.
Damn it.
And you
have
have
one
the
to be
radio.
Yeah, the whole point of this is for you all to decide what kind of pirates are you. That is the crux of this entire arc.
Swing your hammer, man.
Okay. He's going for it. As everybody's talking about just taking the shit and running,
Be like fucking off, right?
Right, everybody get on. John Louis.
you just hear as John Louis drops.
Crikey!
No,
What do you mean no?
no, we are not leaving them.
You mean that we are not leaving them after we drop the stuff off?
I mean, I am not moving the stuff one more inch until we go and help Ayana and her people. I mean that just cutting and running, it's gonna follow us wherever we go. It's going to change us. Me. And I cannot just leave someone behind. Listen, I'm sorry. Tell Captain Hawk, tell Brady that the Emerald Legion came and stole the equipment back, and we have to go and get it again. Buy us time. Lie if you have to. But I'm going back. And I can pick up all the equipment when I get back. Are you guys coming with me?
I feel like if you're going, I'm gonna have to go.
If you go there and you get killed, then we don't have a way of getting this equipment back.
You can come and make sure I don't get killed, and he just like gives him the brightest smile, his tooth sparkles.
Okay, just think about this logically for a second. Rami is going to just like try his best to logic through this whole scenario and be like, there are so many ways that this could go wrong. We don't know what this could possibly be. We don't know if this is like the Legion preparing for them or if they're prepared for us as well. The Legion has pre-tech. We don't have any of that. We could just get out of here. We need to take care of ourselves.
Rami, there are 1,000 ways in which we could die. Do you want to sit here and discuss how many different ways we can die, or do you want to help me find one way to survive?
Damn. This is like noble and shit.
Okay, am I alone here?
I mean, I'm kind of in now, but if I die, I'm gonna haunt you so bad.
And if I'm going to be haunted by somebody, he just winks at you.
I wouldn't mind punching down another plane. That was kind of great.
Okay, I guess we're doing this now.
Yes! He hugs you. Or he hugs you, you might be reluctant.
Yeah.
Alright. We're kicking some Emerald Legion's ass again.
Alright.
Okay, do we even know where to go?
Ayana, this is John Louis. Where do you need us?
There's a couple seconds of silence, and then you hear her mutter something in her native language. You don't know what it is, but you get the sense that it's along the lines of, oh, thank fuck. And she responds,
I'll send you the coordinates. Meet there.
Okay.
It's just on the adjacent peak. It'll be very simple. We just go in, cause some chaos. That will distract whatever guards are there long enough for my infiltration team to get past them.
Chaos.
And that's it. That's it. Then you can just go.
So we just get to fuck shit up.
Some guidelines, some rules. We'll be entering a cave system. Do not do anything that would cause the caves to collapse. No explosions, no shrapnel, nothing. Gunfire, fine, but no explosions. And be careful with the telekinesis.
Why the telekinesis?
Just don't lift like a giant boulder or something.
Okay. Alright. Great. Go, team.
Great, this sounds perfectly safe. Okay, let's go.
This is gonna be exciting. It's an adventure. Come on, Rami. He gives you a good, like, squeeze on the shoulder.
Only one shoulder feels that because the other one's metal.
and she sends you the coordinates. It is on the adjacent mountain peak. I'm gonna skip ahead of a lot of this, but you do rejoin Ayana and her team. It's a much smaller team than what you saw before. There are a handful of people that aren't there, either deceased or too wounded to continue with this part of the mission, sent back to camp. People are still eyeing you, but there's a little bit of wary respect with how they interact with you now. You get the sense that they didn't expect you to do this, and they're a little bit cautious about being grateful for it. But time is of the essence, so everything is very brief. They go over a few quick details. You see the cave entrance. You can tell that there's normally some sort of shielding or gate there, but it is completely down because there is no power to this place. Even backup power isn't enough for how much they would need it. From outside, you barely see anything. It's just dark. You have no idea what you're about to encounter. But the resistance members, with their masks over their face, their voices distorted, issue this war cry, and you and all of the remaining Radon resistance members charge in through this large entrance in the side of the mountain. You all are just caught up in the energy and the swarm of it. They just start firing different directions outside, away from the heart of the group. So you all sort of form a circle and you're not firing at each other. The entire central chamber of this cave system just lights up with laser fire and muzzle flashes. There are a few legionnaires you can tell that drop. And it's just silent. hear some of the heavy breathing of people around you. One person asks, "Is that it? Is that it? All of us there?"
Looks like our job is done.
Can all of you except John Louis please roll a d20 for a mental save? So in this silence, as the whole area kind of goes dark, you are close enough to the entrance that the starlight, moonlight is still creeping in, but you are just in a cave. All the lights are off. There are no windows. There's a bit of blood pooling across the floor from one of the legionnaires that was killed. You instead hear a voice echo through the chamber. "How nice of you to drop by." And then the floor suddenly isn't there anymore. And you hear the sound of people yelling in surprise, the sound of rock crumbling beneath you and falling away. You are all just lost in the tumble. So you lose sense of which way is up, which way is down, where are the people around you. You feel the weight of different rocks hitting you as you hit the ground. Rami,
Yes.
can you roll an evasion save for me, please?
Good. Yes, I made it.
You manage to sort of curl yourself into a ball, cover your head, and kind of roll with some of the momentum. You end up bruised, for sure. Might be a bit sore in the morning, but otherwise, no worse for wear. As a bit dazed, you kind of blink in the darkness. Do you have low light goggles?
I do not know.
Yeah.
But he is mumbling to himself. Second trap. Second trap. I should have seen it. It was a second trap.
Yeah. And you are in a very dark space. Still in the tunnels, clearly, just a lower area of tunnel. You can hear some water dripping, kind of echoing. It's not close to you.
Nice.
No editing on that, Alex. You need to leave it in
was
so
nice.
everyone knows it was Tyler's mouth noises.
I am a faucet. No, a pipe.
And there is no light that you can see. No draft you can feel.
Is anybody else still alive?
None of you hear this.
Dead.
But can I get like a flashlight of some kind? Like, if nothing else, just the light on my compad.
Yeah. The light of your compad can illuminate your immediate surroundings.
Do I see in the immediate area?
The very first thing you see are the many facets of a radon resistance mask staring at you.
Hello? Which one are you?
The mask kind of tilts to the side, and you hear the somewhat distorted voice start to say something. And then a hand comes up and pulls the mask partially aside. You might recognize this person depending on how closely you were paying attention the first time you went to the Resistance camp. But it's not someone you know the name. She has the dark skin of many Radon natives, except a pink-white blotch across part of her face. She looks at you, kind of blinks in the light of your compad. So, one of you lived.
Yeah, you should help me find the rest of our group so that we can regroup. Get out of here, together. Us, me, and also you, and also your people, because we're on the same side.
I hope so. But I guess we'll see, won't we? I don't know where the others are. I somewhat know my way around here. If you follow me, we can get to where I'm supposed to be.
Okay. Cool. What's your name?
Nayata.
I'm Rami. Why don't you go first and I'll go second while I keep a lookout. Because you can see in the dark and stuff.
I do have low light vision, yes, and I don't think you know your way around here.
So you can go first and I can go behind you.
Well, yes, that's what I mean, unless you happen to know where we're
Great,
going.
I'm glad that we're agreed and on the same side, definitely.
You're strange.
Cultural barriers, I guess.
Right. Follow.
Rami's going to keep a hand on the laser pistol the entire time that he's going.
Yeah. She pulls the mask back over her face and leads you deeper into the tunnels. As you walk through, Nyata is difficult to see. You have your light, but Nyata is an infiltrator. And you can tell very clearly by what she's wearing, as it is all just mottled grays and greens, and just not any discernible shape. Occasionally she gets a little far out of your light from your compad, and she has to back up or wait for you to catch up, because she'll be impossible for you to find.
So how did you get here? I don't remember seeing you in the main group.
That's the point. I am an infiltrator.
Did you come here first?
No. I was in the middle of the group when everything kicked off. I crept away. This is conveniently the path I needed to follow. I heard everything from upstairs. Ducked out of the way of the falling rock. Saw you.
Is that what happened? I didn't see exactly what happened when the ground went out.
Yes, from down here it sounded like there might have been some very carefully placed charges around the main corridor. Those went off, and you're the only one that I've seen so far. Maybe we'll find others.
Can I roll a notice check to see if I remember this matches up with everything else that I remember?
Absolutely.
Wow, that's a 4.
You don't remember enough to verify any of what she's saying. Nothing strikes you as definitely off, but there are no key events that you can specifically match up aside from, yep, the floor did fall.
Okay.
The floor did fall? Yeah.
Yep. So I'm using my compad as a light, and I would like to flip it over to, since we theoretically have a comm server going and I can contact everybody else in the crew, I will send a message to Jay, John Louis, and Sid.
Sid Nigel.
How did I forget Sid Nigel?
Sid Nigel.
I will send a message to all of them and just say, are you dead?
And on that note,
We all ask Rin.
Oh, we did.
Sid,
Yes.
you also wake up
Alright.
in the dark. It's a little less dark for you because you got your low light goggles.
I'll tip them. Make sure they're working.
Yeah. You hit the ground, slid down a whole area, and more rocks kind of collapse on top of you, blocking your way back out, and you feel a bit of a draft coming from somewhere ahead of you. And through your low light goggles, you can see a way forward through that.
Can I see anybody else?
Nope. But the way forward looks like kind of a narrow, twisting path. There could well be people just around that corner that you can't see.
How much would it cost me to teleport there? And then if there's danger, teleport fuck all somewhere else.
You can teleport 30 feet with no cost. You teleport your 30 feet into this pathway. It's a little snug.
It's a tight squeeze, huh?
Yeah.
Been retired for a while now.
Yeah.
Especially in the chest.
Yeah. The chest, the shoulders, you're broad. And
Chest.
It's a bit tight, but no sign of danger. And you definitely feel a draft. This seems like it goes somewhere.
Just continue to follow it.
And you go another 30 feet, and it's a tight squeeze. Your foot's kind of at a bit of a weird angle in this one. And then you you go another 30 feet, and you're kind of like sideways squished in this place because your chest isn't as.
Oh, chest.
Yeah, your chest.
Oh, chest.
Like your shoulders are more broad than your chest is, and so you're kind of sideways into this area.
Just taking a mental note about having to work out later.
And
It might make it worse.
Or slim down, at least.
Well, I think you're
Cardio.
a muscle.
And as you go a little further, you feel your compad buzz, but can't reach that. But hey, that means someone's trying to message you. That's probably good. But at the moment, you're in a bit of a tight squeeze. Jay.
Sup.
Yeah. Hi.
Sup.
I failed my mental save at the beginning.
Yep.
I'm sure that's going fine for me.
Yes. It definitely won't be a concern. Don't worry about it.
Alright, great.
You, after the last of the rocks fall, are sat on the ground up to your shoulders in water. Do you have low light goggles?
Nope.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking dark.
Dang.
But of course, the water's up to your chest while you're sitting, so
So I'm gonna stand up.
Yeah, and it's not that deep.
Okay.
You don't gotta swim, but you're not gonna be quiet, and it's gonna be a little tough to run if you had to.
And my lighter's covered in water now.
Yeah.
Draw that out.
Yeah, but I can't use it for at least a few hours.
This is a sci-fi light.
I like the idea that Jay can't use this specific lighter
Yeah.
for at least a few hours.
There are ones that are like nice and waterproof or could work underwater even. This is not one.
This is not.
Is it because Jay keeps on losing lighters?
Yeah, it has
Yeah,
to
always
have
has to
the
get cheap.
cheapest lighter.
Yeah. And this might not even be Jay's, it might be someone else's.
Yeah.
You asked for a light and then you just conveniently quote unquote forgot.
Yep. So I'm in the water. It is very dark. I can probably at least get the light from my compad because I'm assuming that has some kind of water resistance.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
And before you even turn that light on, there's what sounds like very struggled breath. And as you turn the light of your compad on and scan it around the area, you see just a few feet from you something you would have landed on and things were slightly different. The body of a Rodan resistance member.
Oh shit.
The mask is partially broken, so you can see half of his face. The eye is open and looks incredibly bloodshot, red around the edges. The lips and skin just look ashy gray, and the struggled breath is coming from this person. The eyes are completely unfocused. Doesn't look like he's noticed you're there at all.
Well, I'm gonna help this dude out with some biopsionics.
Sure. As you do that, what is it like for Jay to use psionics? I don't think we had a good description of that.
Ooh. The main thing that I think about Jay using her psionics for, because she's a biopsion, is lowering her own weed resistance so she doesn't have to spend as much money on weed. There's not technically a rule for that, but I feel like that's a good chunk of like what she uses it for.
You figured it out, Jay.
Live your greatest fantasies.
So when you use this on another person,
I think what that is that Jay goes into like sort of a meditative state and envisions herself inside the body of the other person, and it's just very much like a mental like mapping thing. So if you're healing damage, it's legitimately just focusing on the image of healing energy propagating through that other person's body.
and you do that for this person, imagining yourself in his body, you're feeling the dislocated shoulder pop back into place, the gunshot wound across his leg patch up a little bit, other bruises and scrapes kind of heal themselves, but you know something is still not right. These are not just physical wounds.
And not just emotional wounds either.
No.
Okay.
There is a poison.
So yeah, then I think that's just putting more effort into that. So actually using some of her effort. And I think that that's just, again, picturing where that is and then kind of burning it. Like,
And this is a poison in the lungs. It was inhaled.
okay.
And you sense it, see it in your own way, clinging to the lungs, making the breath harder and harder. And you picture it just burning, and pull yourself back into your own body, into your own sensations, as you hear the gasping breath of this person coming back and just panting heavily, coughing, pushes himself upright and just stares at you.
Hey, man. You good?
He looks at you a second. He does a hand motion you don't recognize. And then he kind of looks down at his hands where there are these gloves that look electronic of some sort, and they're not in very good shape. He looks at those and looks at you and then gives a thumbs up.
Alright, cool. You know, get out of here?
Nods emphatically.
Sweet.
And pushes himself up, kind of like grabs at his side, his ribs where there's some lingering injury, cracks his neck, and then trudges off through the water.
Alright, cool. Following that dude.
As you follow through the splashing, you get a message on your phone. John, guess what?
What?
It's super fucking dark.
Oh boy.
I don't think you have low light goggles either.
Nope.
Sid,
I have a telescoping pole.
Yeah. You are very well prepared for any use of telekinesis. You are down in the tunnel.
Am I hurt?
Bruised, maybe emotionally injured, but nothing that you need to immediately deal with. It is just very dark. You don't know where you are. You hear nothing. See no one.
Hello?
No one responds to your calls.
Oh, that's terrifying. He's just sort of going to spring up and start feeling around.
The walls, they're all stone, cold, a bit damp. You might feel some moss or lichen here and there. As you stumble around every now and then, you feel something cross your hand. Is it water? Was it a leaf? Or was it something sentient?
Hello?
You hear a voice finally respond to you, echoing in a somewhat familiar way. Hello.
Hi, yes, John Louis.
John Louis.
Who are you?
I am your best hope.
Okay, Best Hope. I like that. Do you have a name?
We will get to that.
Hope.
That's a good one. I like it.
Can I see you? Do you have a light?
Not right now, but if you follow my instructions, I can bring you to the light.
Okay. Yeah, by the light you mean the outside, right? People are very poetic in this side of the galaxy.
You asked for the light. I can direct you to safety.
Okay. Sounds good, Hope. Let's do this. Just one more thing. I have friends. They are down here too. Can you help me find them?
If they also accept my guidance,
Okay.
they will come to the same place, to safety.
I have a combat too. Can I, as stealthily as I can, just like shine it and
Yeah,
to see if I see anyone?
absolutely. You see a very dark tunnel in a cave. not a person. And this is a voice that's kind of echoing through the area.
He was expecting to catch somebody, so he just went, okay. And he feels real stupid. He's like, Hope, do you have a physical form? Or...
I love that this is probably somebody on an intercom, and you're just like, do you have a physical form?
Jay just told him about I'm gonna haunt you. So he's like, maybe they're real. I don't know.
Or are you like Space Jesus?
do you?
Yes. Don't worry. You'll meet me.
Okay. Okay, good.
Just keep walking. It's only one path right now. No turns. No crossroads. There will be one. I'll tell you what to do.
Very well. He walks and a glowing purple shape of a dagger manifests behind his back. He doesn't know if this person can see it or not, but he's just gonna, because he realized this person doesn't have the Rodan accent.
That is correct.
So he's wary.
And you get a text message on your phone.
Oh, it scares the shit out of him.
So, Sid can't quite get to his phone right away.
Oh, it's a tight fit.
Yeah,
Right
it's
around
a
my
bit
wet.
difficult. But two of you can. How do you respond to the text message asking if you're alive?
Yeah, spelled Y-E-H. Yeah.
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 For now, he replies.
Great. So, Rami, we cut back to you. You have received these two responses, perhaps slightly delayed from each other by a handful of seconds. You don't yet hear from Sid.
Alright, I mean, this is going to a group chat, so...
Yeah.
I think Rami will send back, I'm currently with a very suspicious resistance person, quotes around resistance.
And as you're following, you get to a crossroads. There's the way that you came, and there are two other paths. Nayata turns back to you and tells you, is this way, and goes down the right hand. But as she does, you hear a voice echoing through the area that just says, I wouldn't follow if I were you, Rami.
What the shit? Hello? Is this a voice in my head? Did you hear that?
As soon as the voice started, Nayata looked around kind of panicked and then hid like in the shadows. If you go close or like shine your compad in that area, you can still see her. She's just hiding. But this voice has made her very nervous. You don't trust her, do you?
Where are you talking from?
A safe location.
Can I try to find where the source of sound is?
Do might be a notice?
Yeah. Hey, that's a 10.
Alright, this does just feel like an echo through the area, but you also kind of get a sense of caves and cave systems. Like, you can make sound travel if you have a path to it in some capacity. You get the sense that this voice isn't coming directly down any of the tunnels that you can physically go down. You know it can't be electronic because there's no power, but they must have some other means to communicate with specific areas, just using laws of physics. You could probably examine it closer, but it is like up on the ceiling. It would be time consuming to do.
Okay.
To figure out how to get up there and really take a closer look. And as you're looking around figuring this out, Nayata is telling you, don't listen, let's go. And the voice continues, your friends are on their way here. If you would like to join them.
Okay. Well, I don't know why I should trust you any more than anybody else. Weird voice.
Well, Jay and Sid did.
Okay, so this is a thing that interrogators do, where they'll say that somebody else has already given up in order to trick somebody into confessing because they think that their friend has betrayed them. If I were you, in your position, and I was trying to trick me, then that's exactly what I would say to me, in order to try to get me on your side.
From the shadows, Nayatha's like, 2 thumbs up.
So does this voice know Jay as Jay and not as Juliet? Or is that just because I constantly refer to Jay as Jay?
This voice called Jay. Jay. Nayatha kind of whispers over. That is Legionnaire. Don't listen. We have to go.
Okay, I'm going to go. How many fingers am I holding up?
You ask the voice.
Yes.
Roll a mental save.
Okay. Ooh, I passed.
The voice kind of chuckles. It says, I can only be aware of where you are. I can't see. But do you want to just follow what someone else says is right for you? Or do you want to make your own decision? Having these resistance members only brought you more stress, responsibility you didn't want.
Okay. You know what? I think you raise a good point. Vienna.
You hear the voice chuckle again.
Took a shot. That wasn't it. Why don't you keep... Okay, you keep going. I'm gonna wait for my friends here. I'll say to Nayatha.
Nayatha just looks at you. They might not be coming this path.
I think I know who this person is, except I don't entirely know who this person is. They're a person that I am aware of, probably.
Why?
It's a lot of stuff. Insider baseball inside of Captain Hawk's crew. Baseball is a sport that came from old Earth.
Do you mean there are Legionnaires on your crew?
Insider baseball, you know.
I don't. There are Legionnaires on your crew.
Maybe not.
Okay.
Listen, if you want to help, there is a pallet full of gear that we stashed at the base. If you get it back to Captain Hawk is trustworthy, Brady is trustworthy, they can fix the ship and then maybe they can help rescue us.
You want to just stay here?
Well, I gotta find out what's going on.
Staying here?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm making my own decision and you're telling me to go this way and the voice is telling me to go that way, so I'm gonna stay right put.
You're afraid to make a decision, so you make no decision.
That's its own decision!
Exactly. It's a stupid decision.
But it's mine!
Well, I'm going to go change the world. If you want to sit here and pout, then fine.
I like her. Okay! And then Rami just kind of like sits.
I love it.
Determinedly.
Alright. Jay.
Yeah.
Actually, we're gonna go to Sid first.
Dang.
I'm trying to keep in the same order.
That
This
makes
is actually
sense.
the same order I introduced your characters at the beginning.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. So, Sid, you're doing your best.
Breaking rocks in the hot sun. Da-dee-da-doo-da. I'm stuck.
You teleport again, and you really have to suck in.
Here we go.
But at this one, your face and shoulders are like sticking out into a broader area. So you are out of the tight squeeze, partially, and you see a person through your low light goggles in this area. You see Ayana sitting on the floor, injured, just staring at you as, from her perspective, your head and your shoulders suddenly appeared out of a crevice.
Hello, lass.
The accent is Scotch-Australian.
Yeah.
I love it.
Such a good portmanteau.
That looks uncomfortable.
It's not so bad. Yeah, you just gotta tuck it in all the right places.
Do you want to
No.
put into here? Might
I've
be a little more comfortable.
almost got it. And we're out.
Makes an audible popping sound.
Oh,
Glad to see her alive.
Well, same for you. Need a little help there.
From what I recall, you are not the bioscion in your group. If you have lift or anything?
Do have lift.
Yeah.
Dude, so it's lift 2. What does that mean?
You have 2 lift.
Stim packs.
Yeah, it's basically a stim pack. You don't know how to use it, but Ayana does. So you can give one to her for her to patch herself up.
There you are. Why don't you pick yourself up right there?
Thank you. This whole thing has really gone tits up. That's a phrase, right?
It is a phrase, and I like it.
We don't have that phrase. We have one pear-shaped. I don't know why pears.
Let's stick with the tits.
She's doing this as she pulled off some of the armor over her leg, and you can see like a piece of wood got like jammed into her thigh muscle underneath the leg plate. So she pulls all that off, tears away some of the clothes underneath, yanks the stick out,
Crikey.
and applies lift to that area, and just takes a very deep breath. All right, I know where the other team should be from here. They said they got into some sort of trap, so be prepared.
Where's him?
With luck, it is the sort of trap where the Legion is not on guard. But they just sort of left and assumed everyone was dead. Like they seem to have done with us.
Well, like I've always said, Sid Nigel don't need luck. Luck needs Sid Nigel. Let's go. He's pumping himself up.
And as she gets up and kind of brushes herself off a little bit, kind of shakes her leg out, you hear a voice echo through the area. It says, Sid, Nigel, always ready.
How's that?
Are you not? That's what your friends think.
Alright. We'll let him keep thinking then, because it's true. And Sid just keeps walking up.
Yeah.
He's just gonna brush it off and
Ayana
walking.
even tells you, don't listen, that's a Legionnaire. And the voice continues.
Sid, he's wearing a shirt, but he's gonna rip off part of his shirt, part of his sleeve, and just shove some cloth in his ears.
and keeps walking. Always prepared. Sid Nigel.
You can't hear anything anymore.
Fantastic.
But you do see Ayana look back at you and kind of laugh and nod approvingly.
Well, he's like pointing to his
Yeah.
head. See that?
You can feel some of the vibrations of like the voice coming through, but you can't hear it.
He yells loudly so that Ayana can hear.
Always prepared!
You instead hear the same voice in your head. Now,
Bugger.
I will say this technique requires that you are willing to receive the message. I'm assuming that you are not outright unwilling exactly in order to like receive the first.
Is this like a text message I could like check later?
No, it is a voice in your head. And you are familiar because this is how John Louis talks to you all the time. You can, however, effectively hang up on this person and be like, no, fuck you, and you're no longer willing to listen to them. Otherwise, they can keep talking to you and you can talk back for as long as you're willing.
Have you ever hung up on John Louis?
No, because you pay him. So what happens is Sid Nitro, quote unquote, picks up and kind of like a dick, he goes,
Hello, you've reached the voicemail inbox of Sid Nigel. I'm not here right now, so please leave your name, your date of birth, your mom's maiden name, the last four of your social, and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. I'll wait for the beep. Piss off.
I thought you were like your mom's phone number.
For the record, I think you get the voice in your head first, and
Yeah,
then
so
that's
like
your reply.
Yeah, so you start to hear this voice talk to you, and you just interrupt them like mid-word with all of that, and then just mentally hang up on them.
yeah,
Beautiful, I love it.
until they try again. Cloth still in the ears.
Yeah.
Because Sid Nigel, always prepared. Apparently that's a thing.
I like it.
Jay,
Yeah.
you follow this person who hasn't said a single word to you. He hasn't made a single sound, in fact, aside from, the splashing through the water.
That's chill enough. He gave me a thumbs up. And Jay has a track record of usually when she saves people, they don't screw her over. So she's pretty comfortable with this person.
Yeah. So you're following him through the water when you also hear this echoing voice ask, "Is this who you are, Juliet? Always helping others at your expense?"
She's gonna look over at the Radon person that she's with for any kind of reaction.
He does not like this and just shakes his head and keeps walking.
So should I just not? What should I do here?
He again goes to do something with his hands that doesn't work. He just looks disappointed. Then he shrugs and gives 2 middle fingers to the ceiling.
Alright, sweet. So so Jay also gives a middle finger to the ceiling.
Yeah.
But the voice continues, asking, "Or do you want to be someone else? Someone better?"
Jay kind of just laughs at that one, I'm doing great.
And it continues trying to entice you, but kind of realizes if there was stuff Jay wanted, they would have gotten it for themselves a while ago. And none of their promises really do much.
How about an Xbox? One of those.
And before long, the person you're following kind of gets low and motions to be quiet and gets to an area that's like an entryway to the next room. These are just caves or tunnels. This looks like some sort of constructed doorway, and there is something in front of it, that another piece of stone that he just tries to grab onto and pull away from this doorway to open it up.
I will attempt to help with the pulling unless he's definitely got it.
I mean, you can use a second D6 if you like.
I was just gonna roll the other one twice.
Yeah, but it's more fun if you have 2.
That's fair. Well, my one rolled a 1, and your one rolled a 6, which for a strength exert is exactly a 7.
You help a little. Between the two of you, you manage to pull this stone away and drop it to the ground, and a cloud pours out of the room and rises up toward your face.
Oh no.
And he immediately covers his face. Can you roll a physical save?
I can.
He's like, oh, they're smoking me up. Nice.
So it's a 15 and my physical is a 12, so I pass?
Hey.
Yes.
Yeah!
As this poison comes up to greet you and he waves it away from both of your faces and gets down low again to creep inside this room.
So he's been getting low to get out of like the poison swaying, not okay. Jay had not connected those dots, was just walking around like a normal person, and now is like, oh, it's poison. Also gets low. Like I get it now.
As you come into this room, you see several Rodan Resistance members, and you realize this was the trap. This is Zikomo's team.
Oh.
Rami, are you still sitting in the hallway? It's been several minutes.
No, I probably should move. Rami's realizing that he probably should make a decision and go somewhere. He will text everybody else again. Hey, I was told you're going to be at a crossroads soon. How far are you?
Now, it was telling you if you follow my instructions, go the way I tell you to go, you'll find your friends.
Oh, I thought that they said their friends will be here.
Here where that person is.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
I think
Rami
that's
just
a totally
stayed behind.
reasonable thing though for
Rami to have misinterpreted,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I also, when heard your friends will be here, thought it meant here at these crossroads.
Yeah, but it meant here where I am.
The trait I found very fun in this session in particular is Rami wants to be more clever than anybody else. And so he's overthinking this and being like, maybe they meant here as in where they were. Which would mean I'd have to go towards them, but that would be doing what they want to do. So I should go that way. Then I won't meet up with anybody else from the crew and won't be able to bring anything back. But maybe I could get something from the Resistance. Maybe I can just like borrow a cart or something along those lines. But that would be the obvious thing to do.
So Rami continues having a crisis on the floor.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sid, you are following Ayana.
That's right, cloth in my ears.
Yep. You get to an area where you see some water nearby. You see what looks like a man-made entryway and a big-ass rock that's been tossed aside. You see the tendrils of some sort of greenish smoke pooling out of this room, crawling along the ceiling. And Ayana mouths something to you, but you can't hear her.
All right, I'm gonna.
She runs into the room.
All right. To avoid the green smoke, he's gonna rip off his other sleeve, and he's gonna use that to put around his face, his nose and mouth, and then he'll pop out the stuff in his ears. But he's gonna store those in his pocket for later, just in case.
And you run after Ayana,
Rushes in.
and you are reunited with Jay, who just got here maybe 5 seconds earlier. And you see the Rodan Resistance members in Zikomo's team, likely Zikomo here somewhere as well, some of which are already dead from this poison. Others are revivable if the poison can be cured. The person you are following, Jay, grabs you and directs you to a specific person.
Cool. Going to that person. Also gives Sid an upward nod. Sup.
Oi!
And you quickly realize he directed you there after you revive this person. They look at you like, Bioscience? Me too. And now you have 2 bioscions who can cure people's poison. And among the people you're able to help is Zikomo.
Oh.
And as you go around, Ayana is kneeling on the ground next to him, talking to him. This is not a slow, quiet get-together. Everyone you are reviving wants to hurry. And as you get to these two, Zikomo sees you both and kind of smiles weakly. Says, I am glad my trust in you was not misplaced.
Jay kind of just like looks side to side awkwardly, like,
And he can hear you.
Yep.
We thought we'd act out of like the kindness of our hearts. Didn't take much convincing at all.
Good.
It was John Louis' idea.
It was drugs. We gotta fuck off.
I will thank him when we find him. But we have to get going.
Hey, where is everybody? Are you coming?
We have a mission to finish. We have one last thing we have to do. And if your friends are not here yet, I guess that's where they are going to end up. I don't know of another way out than through this method.
This is a very cryptic method. What are we doing?
We are completing the rescue mission. I will explain on the way there.
Replies back to Rami. Way out is complete rescue mission. See you there.
What does that mean? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark.
And you just get back a shrug emoji.
John Louis.
Yeah.
You get to this area that the voice told you about, Hope. Is there anything you talked to Hope about on your way here? The last several minutes by yourself in the dark? Or was it just quiet?
No, I think he might have tried to make some small talk.
Yeah.
Just like, do you like art? Or stuff like that. He wants to get a sense of who this person is,
Yeah.
you know?
They respond very graciously. They even tell you about, oh yes, I have a family member who is an artist.
Little questions like that, and then eventually the trolley problem, going back to
Gosh. So you pose the trolley problem, and as you do, the voice responds, stop.
Oh, I like philosophy, sorry.
No, physically. Stop walking.
Okay.
Your track now diverges. Come to me by going left. If you keep walking, there is a hole.
Well, we don't want that.
No. It would be bad for you.
Out of curiosity, what's at the bottom of this hole?
Pain?
He's curious. He wants to keep walking, but on the wall. We're using telekinetic traversal to see if this hole is there, or if the voice is lying.
There sure is a hole.
And can he shine a light?
Yeah, it goes down a decent way. It's hard to get your compad light to see the very bottom. If you listen really close, you kind of hear some rustling down there. Maybe the sound of, like, metal, chains.
What?
Romy, are you still sitting in the hall being defiant?
I think he's starting to pace between the two different directions.
Wonderful. And the other two, Jay and Sid Club, you are on the way to somewhere.
Good.
You have a general idea now of what you are facing, of what exactly you are rescuing. You know that you are going to a very large room. You know that what you are rescuing is chained. And you know what you're rescuing is likely under decent protection, but killing the Legionnaires are secondary to the rescue. All you have to do is remove the chains and you can get out. You have been told this. You know what you're about to see. And then all four of you hear an ear-piercing, shattering screech of a sound. Can everyone except for Rami please roll a mental save?
Hello. Thank you for joining us this week. This episode was recorded in Watertown, Massachusetts, which is also known as the traditional land of the Pecosset and Nanantan peoples. As always, I want to give a huge thank you to all the musicians whose music helped bring this podcast to life. especially to Michael Yang, who wrote and produced the theme song for this miniseries. I'd also like to give a huge shout out to Rin Garnett for running this special. If you wish to know more about the world of Talos, you can do so on World Anvil. The link will be provided in the description. Other contributors were Tyler Rubin and Nikki Aguilar-Thompson. I've been your host, Alex Aguilar-Thompson, and I hope to see you again next week for another episode of Roleplay Radio.